Let's go check out this nut sedge. Wish he'd quit watering the yard, the lawn. This stuff ain't doing quite. It's turning a little bit, maybe. I have to hit it again. May have to hit that nut sedge again. So finally got that one done. I'm gonna have to come over here and trim all them trees. Keep them under control. I'm not happy with my sedge hammer. It's only been a few days though. It takes about a week for it to start noticing a difference. So I'm gonna come over and hit it again probably Saturday or Friday. I may come over Friday. I'm gonna get done early Friday. I'll probably come over and hit that sedge stuff again, and nut sedge, and oh man, I forgot to tie my mower in. I better tie that down before I leave. I'll tie it down right now. Let's go tie my mower down real quick. Whoa, the hook got me. Oh, you guys are catching there. Hook it down there on an angle iron. Walk around the other side. Wouldn't have tied down the dang emergency brake only works on one side, so my mower gets crooked. That'd be good. Alright, on to the next yard. There's my yard I just did. We got 1 tree, 2 tree, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, about 15, 16 trees there to trim. And then inside that fence there's a bunch of bushes, 4 or 5 rose bushes, some more trees and bushes on the front. That's a good day, or maybe 2 days. That's a whole day's worth of work right there. May have to recruit me a helper on that one. All right, onward we go. There's my competition. Oh no, he's picking up people's bags of compost. All right, on to the next yard. Just knocked out this big ditch yard. Reason it's called the big ditch, because it's got a big ditch all the way around it. Just knocked it out though. I gotta come back trim that tree. Need to call her to confirm that she wants me to trim them trees. That tree there needs trimmed too. Huh. Looks pretty sweet. All right, I'm out of here. She's probably filming me while I'm filming her. Right there on the front door. Let me see if I can find it. Right there. Alright, on to the next one. I gotta go to Sissy's yard now where I got my landscaping job. I may go see what it looks like when we pull in. That part I did the other day. So takes me about 15 minutes to get over there, so I'll see you there. It'll be quicker for you guys though, like a few seconds. Yeah. Oh, I mowed 3 yards. One of them's a big one. One of them's fancy. The other one's got a big ditch. Had lunch. Went to the bank. Put a couple stragglers in. Now I'm gonna run over this churchyard real fast. Yeah, I better get them on. Maybe I'll film a little bit of it. Yeah, I don't want to film it. We'll talk to you later. There's the blue moon. Pretty round. It's a little after midnight. Thursday night. I guess it's Friday morning now. That's right above my garage. Focus, focus. Look at that. That's cool, ain't it? There's how far away it really is. Blue moon. There's a song about that. I thought I'd come out and get a little shot of the blue moon. Focus. Here's the flag that they put on there back in 1968. And Neil Armstrong's footprints. Okay, that's it. See if I can zoom in on this water tower. Oh yeah, Peculiar, Missouri. It zooms in on the moon better than it does that water tower. Alright, there's some shadow guy. Lord loves a working man. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Thank God it's Friday. I missed a couple of days there with you guys. I think yesterday, let's see, what did I do? Can't remember what I'm filming last. The moon, that was early this morning, right after midnight. Before that, I think I might have filmed a little bit on Thursday morning. Oh yeah, I filmed over there where I did the nut sedge. I'm gonna have to go back over there and hit that nut sedge again. I might do that later. I got another packet, but I'm gonna ask them to turn off their dang sprayer for a couple days. I need their grass to want to drink. Their nut sedge is growing like a weed, because it is. I don't have a whole lot on my list for mowing today. I got 4 yards. 2 of them are right next to each other. Those ones I do is a brother and sister house. And I got another set of brother and sister yards. But they live right next to each other. And their backyard, I just do it all in 1 yard. It's pretty nice, really. But anyway, oh, looks like my wife stood my sign up, I think. I don't think I did that. I think she did it. I got 2 over here and 2 over there, and I'll be done. So I'll show you my yards, I guess, real quick. Maybe a little mowing on them. We'll see you at the first one. was that red truck driving by? The Lone Ranger. Alright, this one's about done. I got to mow the front and this side right here. Then go to the next one. I'll see you at the next one. I'm going to finish this one up real quick. Got that one all done. On to the next one. I'm going to come back and spray around that fence so I don't have to weed eat it no more this year. Wants to kill it. Just a little thin layer all the way around that fence. That's what she prefers anyway. I'll be there in a minute. I'm going to the next one.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
Gotta do a little weed eating and that'll never be done. Boys and girls. I run over my cone. Gotta run my weed eater around it, my trimmer. Do a little trim job on her. It made it look nicer. Alright. I got 2 more to go. Alright. Alright, I made it home, back over here to my next two yards. I think after I wipe these two out, I'm gonna go over to the church. They got this detention pond. I ran through most of it with my Farris yesterday, but there's a long ditch. It's a real pain in the butt. Wish they'd let me slope it with my loader so I can mow it. Wouldn't have that ditch. I could slope it like the other ditch. I'm gonna talk to them about that. I may do it for free. I need to trim these two trees if I could ever get permission. I never have got permission yet. I don't know what to tell them. Hell, I'd probably do it for about, just trim them low enough where I could walk under them. I'd probably do it for 50 bucks a piece. That one there, and that one in front of that house. This is the 2 yards I'm getting ready to hit right now, and I'll try to get some of this on camera for you girls. Pause our camera move. Looking pretty smooth. Sitting on this 4x6, it's kind of heavy. Hope you don't fall over. See if I can make some nice strides for you guys here. I got a tree thing in the middle of it there though. Alright, let's walk this out. I just gotta run my trimmer around it real fast, and I'm out of here. Then we'll go do the church ditch. I'm gonna run my trimmer around this, and then I'll see y'all at the church ditch. What are y'all having for lunch today? I went into Price Chopper. I don't know if you guys, some people don't know what Price Chopper is probably. It's like our grocery store in around these parts, Kansas City. You had to see it on the football games. But now it's Hy-Vee for the Chiefs instead of Price Chopper. But I'll show you what I got. This cost me a little $10.45, something like that. It's not even worth it. I don't think it's a $10 meal, but it ain't too bad looking. I got 3 pieces of chicken there, some white gravy, mashed potatoes with brown gravy, and then it's all spilling into my mac and cheese. And one of these here is probably going to be for Roscoe. I'll chop it up a little and put a little gravy on it, and he'll have a good old dinner for lunch. All right, let's go eat lunch with Roscoe, my dog. I guess $10 ain't too bad, but it's a little high. It's $6. It's $6.99 a pound, $7 a pound. At like a buffet, you serve yourself, and then you get $6.99 a pound. They ought to be getting it for me for that price. They should be dishing it out for me. I'm a bitch. I'm not a bitch. I'm a bitchin'. I'm a bitchin', man. Alright. I said like 3 times a bad word, and now I gotta do my Hail Marys and King Arthur's and Holy Molys, so I can be forgiven. Talk to y'all later. Going to eat lunch, then I'm gonna meet you at the church ditch. Get around this tree, it looks kind of ugly. We got that all done. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Pond's all mowed. Now we gotta go find something else to do. guy can only do so much by himself. There's a truck running around here. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Oh, looking for scrap metal. Ain't that a pretty sight? That old Rayco chipper works pretty good. I'm gonna toss some of this stuff off right here in this pile of wood. I'll get back to you in a minute. You'll see me dumping. A bed vibrator. Oh, here we go. Oh, hacksaw Jim Duggan. Letting that stuff sit there. I have to go get me a shovel. See if this old man can get up in this thing without falling down. Still too steep. clean now, boys. Now we can go hook back up to the wood chipper and park it. He's empty. Got my chipper hooked back up. Ready for some more. Probably need to grease it a little bit. I'll show you guys something I got over here I've been working on. I made a spot here for my scrap metal. Round up everything down here. Killed all this grass, as grass killer. You can see through the fence. This fence was up against each other when I put them together. That's how I say dry it out. You believe that? I had them right up against each other. I may have to hire my grandkids someday to bring them in to back to each other. But it does let the wind through, keeps it from blowing it over probably. There's a few weeds back here, could use a little bit more spray. Got a little bit of scrap metal, but I need to get some more. We'll load this truck up one of these days with scrap iron and take it in and see how much we can get for it. Alrighty. Let's push up that pile we got down there. Maybe we'll do it with this Stihl skid steer. If it'll fire up. I forgot I kind of fixed it. It's leaking a little bit on the other side. You remember when I fixed the cylinder the other day? Now the other side leaking. Just sitting there in that hot sun. It must have cooked that, filled that cylinder. Got it hot enough and it rent the seal. Let me go get my key to this sucker out of my other truck. It's a Ford, a little Ford 4-cylinder in that gas. We're gonna bring her down here and push that stuff that I dumped off back up in the pile.